we're going to be doing two things today. We have divide decimals by whole numbers and divide decimals by decimals. So, you probably did this last year. When dividing a decimal by a whole number, divide as with whole numbers. Then place the decimal in the quotient. What's the quotient? Brock, do you know what the quotient is? No? Yes. The answer to a division problem. And it goes directly above it. So, remember the first number is going to go underneath the little house. So we have 7.5 times 3. Now, the first thing I like to do, so I don't forget, is I like to move my decimal straight up. How many people think they might forget if they don't move it up at the beginning? I grade papers. I've seen it happen a lot of times. Bring it straight up right when you see it. And then we're just going to act like it's 75 divided by 3. So how many times does 3 go into 7? 2, because that is 6. 7 minus 6 is? And then I'm going to bring down my 5. And 3 goes into 15 5 times. And so what is our answer, guys? 2.5.
I want to do 15 minus 9.
Okay. Let's look at the next one. 3.5 divided by 7. What should I do with the decimal? Move it up. Can 7 go into 3? No, so I'll put a 0. Can 7 go into 35?
Yes.
How many times?
5 times.
5. Because 7 times 5 is 35. So your answer is 0.5. How many people think this is not too terrible? Just like normal division, except you're going to slide that decimal up, right? And then our last one up at the top, we have a 9.8 divided by a 2. What should we do with the decimal? Move it up. And then you're going to see how many times 2 goes into 9. 4. 2 times 4 is? 8. 9 minus 8 is?
1.
What should I do with this guy over here?
Bring it down because 2 doesn't go into 1.
Can 2 go into 18?
Yes.
How-
9 times.
9 times.
Which equals 18, then minus that, which equals 0.
So what's our answer?
4.9.
You guys remember this from last year?
Yes.
It's not terrible, is it? Okay, down here, so just a 1 digit divisor. It's 2 digits. 9.48 divided by 15. First thing we do is we do what? Bring our decimal up so we don't forget him. Can 15 go into 9? No. Can 15 go into 94?
Yes.
How many times do you think?
5 times.
6, because that's 90.
Oh. I was just guessing there. No.
94 minus 90 is?
4.
I'm going to bring down my 8. What do you? No. 3 times. What's 15 times 3?
45.
Okay. And we get a 3. Now, guys, we're in decimals. We can't do remainders anymore.
No.
We're going to annex a 0. Great word, Brooke. So we add a 0. Drop the 0 down.
30 and 15 can go into 30. 2 times.
Great job,
minus
Sam.
30 would equal 0.
Good job, Sam. So here is your answer, 0.632. So that's the new thing today. You can't just stop and put remainder on it because it's a decimal. So you have to annex our 0 and drop it down. It's been a little bit since you've done that, hasn't it? And our last one on this lesson.
Oh, 55.0. Oh. Big number.
First thing we're going to do, who can tell me by raising your hand? Noah? There's a step before that. Should I call on someone else? Bring up the decimal. 17 can it go into 5?
No.
Can it go into 55?
Yes.
How many times do you guys want to try?
3. No, 4. It's 3.
It's 3. Right here. Oh, guys. So we're going to put a 3 up here because 17 times 3 is 51. So we're going to subtract 51. Bring down our 0. 17 can go into 40. How many times do you think? Twice. Does anyone know what 17 times 2 is? 34. Here. So we get 34.
Which equals 6.
Equals 6. And then we're going to bring down our 8.
Because 17 keeps going 4 times.
17 times 4. Hopefully we're going to get that right. Why did I put a 4 there? So that's one's 4. If you're struggling with this, that means that you need to study your multiplication facts. Well, like multiplying them together. So, questions on this one? Pretty much like regular division, right? This second one, though, we're adding something a little new. This is decimals by decimals. Can you guys please stop talking? It is not helpful right now that you continue to talk. Okay, so we're going to set it up just like before. We go 1.71 divided by 0.9.
Wait, why are we doing this side?
We're doing both of them today because you're having a review on Monday and a review on Tuesday.
Wait, aren't we having a test?
Yeah, that's why I didn't say we're doing anything tomorrow. Okay. This time, do you guys... This guy on the outside, the divisor. Do you see how he's a decimal this time? We need to make him a whole number. So we're just going to go 1. Now he's a whole number. We just moved the decimal. Because we have to get the decimal moved in here so it's correct. So, if we move the decimal once here, we have to move it once in here and just bring that decimal straight up.
I remember that. That's confusing. Okay.
You did this last year.
Yeah, I was really confused last year, but now
Okay. So, we move it once, move it once. Sometimes we have to move it 2 or 3 times on the outside to make it a whole number. You just want the decimal right next to the little house. How many times you move it here is the amount you move it here. So this time we just moved it once here, once here. Yes, Carson.
what if the decimal's like before it, but like for that you need to move it 3 times? Could you annex a 0 for the number?
Yeah, we're going to have 3 more practice problems down here, and I'll show you something like that. Okay, how many times can 9 go into 1?
1, 0.
How many times can 9 go into 17?
2.
Once. Super close to 2. And we get an 8, right? And I bring down my 1. 9 goes into 81. 1.9. So the only new thing I showed you is moving the decimal. That's not really math. That's you taking your pencil and doing a little loop. Okay. This one is still going to have a decimal in the divisor spot. This time, though, instead of just 1 number after the decimal, there's 2 numbers. So how many times do you think we have to move the decimal to get a whole number? 2. 1, 2. If I moved it twice here, how many times am I going to move it over here? 1, 2.
Are you a vlogger?
Well, I don't vlog.
Well, you're recording. You're recording as
Okay. Can 36 go into 8?
Yeah. Hold on, sorry.
Can it go into 84?
We're on YouTube.
How many times?
Twice.
Twice. Does anyone know what 36 times 2 is? John?
72.
Good job, John.
I'm so smart. Wow. You just want
That's
to
60.
I'll wait till you're quiet. 4 minus 2 is 2. 8 minus 7 is 1. And then we're going to bring down a 2. I'm going to go off to the side, and you're going to tell me why I should multiply 36 by to get to 1.2. 3? 18, 9, 10. Right? So it has to be 3. Borrowing. You get 14. Bring down the 4. What do you think we should multiply 36 by now to get that? 4? 12, 13, 14, right? Exactly on. So 23.4. So what's the only new concept that we threw in with decimal by decimal? Moving a decimal. Like, I showed you last chapter, didn't I? I'm going to give you some extra practice.
Yay! I'm just gonna say yes because it's all.
Okay, I'm going to write 3 problems down, and you guys are going to try to solve them. I'm going to stop the video, and then I will restart it after we have them all down.
Like 20.
It'll be more now because I told some of your parents that this was up last night, and they're like, really?
My dad did.
My friend has only like 100 subscribers.
Get a sponsor?
Okay, so these are your 3 problems that you're going to try to work on. Maybe I'll call someone up and do it themselves in just a little bit. Okay, let's see how we did. First thing you did was do stuff with your decimal, right? How many times did you move the decimal here? 1, 2. What about here? 1, 2. Can 14 go into 1?
No.
Can it go into 16?
Yeah.
How many times?
Once.
Everyone should have been able to do that, right?
Yeah, I didn't even work.
14 goes into 22. We get an 8 and bring down the 4. How many times do you want to try?
6.
So 14 times 6
84.
is 84. And it goes in there evenly. How many people like it when it goes in evenly? I love it when it goes in evenly. It makes me happy. Okay. It makes you sad, Kevin?
What? What do you mean it makes you sad?
Because he has to do less work, I guess. I don't know. Okay, here. How many times do we move our decimal?
1.
Then how many here?
1.
4 goes into 14. 3. Because that's 12.
2. 6.
How many people are doing pretty well so far? Okay. And our last one. How many times are we going to move it?
Twice.
What about here?
Twice.
What did you have to do?
Annex is 0.
Annex is 0. Great word, Seth. 3. Guys, if these extra zeros are bothering you, you can always do this to them. 3 goes into 13
Twice. I mean 4 times.
because that's 12. 13 minus 12 is?
1.
Bring down the 5.
Which goes in there like 5 times.
Oh my gosh.
Okay, now, this is
You
where...
still have to bring down the 0 then add it to it.
Okay, and up here. There's still a space up there. What do we put there?
0.
That's where some of us messed up yesterday on our homework, right? That extra 0 spot. Let's make sure that we put it there. Because if you check your answer, you take 450 times 3. Let's see if we get the right answer.
That's like 1,350.
Did I get the right answer?
Yeah.
Now, if I would have only done 45 times 3, I wouldn't have gotten the right answer. So, it could be a good idea to check. If your answer, or if your 2 numbers, when you multiply them together, if this is that, then you did something wrong. Imagine that, right? Hey, we're going to be getting our homework.